Hi, and welcome to North of 48. We just did an interview with Charity and Cameron West, who are walking across Canada to bring media attention to murdered Indigenous people all across this land. It's June 2nd. Let's get right into the interview. Hi. Oh, geez, look at the suntans you guys are getting. You guys are good.
Yeah, we're baked for sure.
How's the shoes holding up?
We both got new sets now. I my auntie seen my feet and she's like, "You go get yourself shoes right now." So I went to got myself shoes that day.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
and Cameron actually got some given to him by another person that's doing an awareness campaign across Canada. He's actually biking, but yeah, you seen what he is using and gave him
I
some
seen
shoes.
that on your Facebook. Well, let's start off with for our newer viewers. What exactly are you doing? Let's just a synopsis.
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm gonna adjust our video.
Adjust away. You guys are looking really good, though. I have to say, you guys are.
Thank you. So what we're doing is we are walking across Canada to spread awareness on missing and murdered Indigenous people nationwide. We want to make sure that we are opening up people to have those conversations, and we're learning a lot on the way as well. Like that's one thing that I've noticed is that we've been learning a lot. Mm-hmm. Yep, and just
learning a lot about different tribes or people.
Yeah, different people, just different customs. There's also a lot of things like just other things that are going on. Like we're used to BC, we're used to everything that goes in our province. We're used to being right along the highway of tears and all those things, right?
Right.
So we're learning about a lot about other organizations that are out there working on prevention and stuff that they work with the aftercare, things like that. Remember when you were asking us about reconciliation in the last one there? And our perception of it being in northern BC, we got invited out to Shiloh military base there by a member from our CKDNA member. So it's one of the communities I was raised up in. And we got to see some of the Canadian Armed Forces efforts towards reconciliation. So that was different. And it was interesting. It's actually, we've been learning a lot.
Did you feel that was true?
I felt like it was a true effort, right? Like I feel like organizations like that still have a lot to learn, and that's just an ongoing, continuing process, right?
Yes.
Like like everybody's learning, and like including the person that invited us because he grew up in the foster system, so he didn't really get much exposure to his culture, right?
Right.
Yeah, so like he's learning too, and it's kind of, I guess you could compare it to that with with what's going on. But yeah, it was interesting. And we had a few interviews. The
World Spectator, they did an excellent job.
Yeah.
That's Ada Mooseman, right?
Yeah, Mooseman. That was the first one, and she came and done the walk with us too.
Oh,
the
she
second
did.
one,
yeah. It was like really windy as well, and she had this
really
thin windbreaker on, and she looked pretty cool, but
yep,
I'm happy she came out.
Yeah, she did at least a mile with us, and then CBC came out and Brandon and done a walk with us as well, and done an interview with us. They actually got in contact with us when we were at the Shiloh military base.
Okay.
There. So that was interesting. Yeah, that was good. It was really interesting, and we got to be involved in some memorials as well, which was really like, that's what we're here for, is to be there to support the families as well, right? And help spread awareness. And it was pretty powerful. They all placed at the end of the ceremony and the drumming and all that, they all came up to our truck and placed their painted hands on our truck. So our truck got an upgrade. Paint job looks better.
yeah, I was watching it. What's the Facebook that they can go to? And I'll put a link in.
It is
MMIP MMIP Awareness Walk, and it's a semicolon steps to bring Canada together.
Okay.
That's the Facebook page. And that was actually created by our friend at the military base there. Well, yeah, just because I'm not really tech savvy at all. And
Yeah. Yeah.
we're more worried about like walking, and we got to Winnipeg
Yesterday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, okay. So are you in Winnipeg right now?
No,
No.
we actually got invited to come to the Arrowhead games.
Oh,
we're-
wow. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
what happens there?
They were playing hockey. It's just they're
Big hockey tournament. I think
Yeah.
there's like multiple sports.
yeah,
that-
multiple sports going on.
Okay.
And we just got invited out by the chief of Long Plain. And yeah, we're honored to be here. And they set us up in the boardroom in the arena here so we could come and chat with you. And
Well, I appreciate it. And your internet is better than Professor Ann Lee's, I noticed. So,
Ah.
you know, it's a tech upgrade. And as far as being technical, you know, old people use Facebook, okay? Charity.
Hey. Are you
So
calling
basically the
Just
concept,
kidding.
because I didn't think we got to the concept, is you're walking across Canada
Yes.
to bring awareness to the Indigenous people who have been murdered or lost or gone.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
And the reason why it hits home for us is because we grew up along the highway of tears. We've lost multiple family members, both women and men, and boys and girls and lots of them we grew up with and went to high school with and stuff like that. And the one that really affected me the most was obviously the father of my son.
Right.
And yeah, and it's the other thing that we've been learning on the walk too is like all these things that my son has gone through, we keep hearing the same story, and it's like,
Mhm.
yeah,
So-
like just
Okay, so you grew up in northern BC, and now you're going across province. And are you saying the stories seem similar?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same story that we keep hearing from every family member, where it's just like, and the hard part is like afterwards, like they'll like the thing that always gets them is like they'll be doing something and they'll see somebody similar, or they look like their family member from far away. And I know like
Right.
that was really tough on my son. Like he would Father's Day, he'd think it was his dad walking towards the school, and when the
100.
and then
Yeah,
then I would get
and
a phone
That's
call.
tough, man.
Yeah.
So I think now, are we getting the sense, okay, this is not just the northern BC, this could be a national issue. What's happening?
It is a national,
Yes,
it's most
and,
definitely a national issue. The statistics are there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and some of the stories that they come back to is like always falling on the person, the family member is always doing the work. There's like no outside like help from.
it's minimal outside
Yeah.
help, like minimal. Everything's been minimal for what's
Mm.
provided to the family. And it's just like, the families are the ones that are worried about how they're gonna get money to do these searches. Like I seen a post the other day and I shared it, and it's she's trying to sell or do a 50-50 draw on Facebook so that way she can get enough money to go and do a search because she heard there was a sighting here and
Mhm.
stuff like that, right? Like we did, there has been like some new developments as far as like the government giving the funds for the MMIW, the aftercare stuff. And yeah, like I've been saying in all of our articles, there is like, we're definitely not the people that sit at these big tables. We are not. We're the people that sit at the big tables and make these decisions. Like as far as like the inquiry and stuff like that, we are the people that are living the reality, right? And yeah, so it's nice to see these positive changes. Today we were at the Manitoba Legislative Building in Winnipeg there.
All right.
For the fourth anniversary, since they released the final report on the MMWG2S inquiry, right? So there
Right.
was tons of matriarchs there, and just listening to them speak was absolutely humbling. Like it's like,
Powerful, eh?
Yeah, it was
Yes, very
very powerful.
Yeah. That's right. Do you get advice from some of these matriarchs and stuff?
We
Do
didn't
they come
really
up
get
and
we do get advice from some of them, but we didn't really have a chance to talk. Like we were all standing outside for like 2 hours and in the
right?
heat, and everybody dispersed pretty quick. And did have a brief interview with APTN. I felt like I had a little bit too much heat by then. Like I think I saw the after effects, but yeah,
What?
it's exposure.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. So are you finding you are getting some media attention? I know you
Yes.
you said, do you have some coming up too? Or not yet? You're
Actually,
still
we might have something coming up here on Monday, so I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah, on Monday, we have something back home. That's what I got a hold of the Prince George Citizen.
yeah,
Oh, we have two on Monday now because
more the
yeah.
merrier.
Oh,
yeah,
yes, because the
Yeah,
chief here,
we're not, that's not unconfirmed yet, so we're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Monday is the Prince George Citizen, so something from back home, so that's nice.
yeah, that's what I wanted to do, is get them to know that what we're doing and when we are gonna end it and where we're gonna end it. So,
Right.
And we've been getting, we gotta tell them about what your family's been doing for support. It's
Oh, yes.
insane.
Tell
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, my
People want to
family,
know, buddy. Come on.
yeah, my family, I think it started off with my uncle Ron. He sent me a text message and a picture. He's like a selfie. And he's like, I'm out here walking for you guys. I'm walking with you guys. And then it just snowballed. And now my auntie's out, my sister's out, my nephew, he just got back from Jamaica.
Right.
He was there for like 2 months, over 2 months for work. And he got back, and the first night back, or the first day off, he did like 20 kilometers, and the next day he done another 20, and they're like, I don't know how you guys do this on a daily, and my feet are starting to blister up, and like just
Duct tape.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping it starts something, and we're trying to get people to send in videos saying I walk for, and you enter in the name, obviously, of the person that is murdered or missing. So
We just want to put like a face behind it, right? Like, so that way people can see how much of a national issue this is.
Oh yeah.
So they can
impact.
And international too. In some respects as well, but
yes, that's true.
but you're coming through. Well, why don't you walk through Canada, and then on your way back walk through the northern states, and then you got them all covered.
I showed her a map of that.
It's supposed to be an easier route, so.
I really want to, like what we were talking about, the highway tiers, that's solidified for sure now. Yeah.
So you're gonna come back and walk.
Yeah, we're gonna drive back and to Prince Rupert and then walk home.
Right.
And that will be our way we get home.
Mm-hmm.
That is tremendous.
Yeah, and we've also had like a lot of our family get a hold of us from there, and a lot of friends and stuff, and they're like, yep, we're gonna join you once you get to BC. We'll join you in this town or the cities where we're gonna join you. Or my mom's coming over too after she's done her school year. She's a EC teacher.
Okay.
Early childhood educator, I should say. So after she's done that, she's gonna drive over and join us too. I'm thinking we're gonna be pretty close to the finish line by then, but it's gonna be great to have Mom there.
Yeah. I'd imagine. And you had said your son might be coming out too after you finish his semester.
I'm
hoping in BC.
We just keep putting that out there, hoping he catches it.
Yeah, lots of prayers.
Right. So how are you doing for like goods and services and stuff? Do you guys need anything, or?
All the communities have been absolutely amazing. Like I can't even express
like little tiny gift bags.
Tons
Cups
of donations have been coming in. some of the other things that we've been working on more recently is we've been working on getting some administrative support. We've just, like, we mentioned it when we were in Brandon, and one of the women there that works with one of the nonprofit organizations, she's like, I can do that. And I'm like, really? Like, you can do that? And she's like, yeah. So we're hoping to get a template. My cousin Patricia, who's back in Prince George, she's the one that's been helping us with the posters and that kind of stuff and the tracking of everything. But between the three of us, I'm pretty sure we could get a template out, so that way we could hopefully give something to these nonprofit organizations that they could just send out on our behalf to get them some direct donations, right? Like, because these are all the organizations that work on prevention. So they help with the vulnerable populations, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, and they help with things like awareness campaigns and the aftercare. Like, the aftercare is huge for people that our families, like for people that come back from being in a situation where they're missing is huge, right? Because you're traumatized. And then not only that, like the families, if they don't get any help, like that's huge too, because they need help with fuel and stuff just to go on their searches. One of the families that we met in Siksika Nation, he mentioned that they go back to Kelowna every year, and they do this on their own. They go back there every year to do a ground search for their missing brother, and his brother was excuse me, he was an elderly man when he went missing, when he went back there went there to visit. Yeah, and it's just like this is stuff that they're doing out of pocket. So like the aftercare is huge, right? And I don't think nobody ever realizes that, or even what's going on in Manitoba right now. Like or in Winnipeg, like it was really heavy when we were coming into this province, just knowing what we were like. You could just like, you could feel that. You could feel that kind of the energy of like this, like people are hurting, and it's because their people are getting thrown into dumpsters and then dropped into landfills, and that's not okay. It's just a lot of things that are just happening, and it's just, yeah, like the aftercare is huge.
I agree, especially like you said, after the trauma, losing somebody, and then especially if there's children involved, right? And so I got a question for you. It's kind of off, little bit off topic. Would so the little bit I know of Indigenous language is from my region, right? So when you go, and I hope this doesn't, when you go from province to province and meet different nations, is the language different? Like, there's not a common language, is there?
No.
Yeah, it's like what do I know? Nahe, Astum, or Pookum,
Yeah, like I know what those ones are actually, but there's not a common language, and it's just from exposure that you learn it. And a lot of them, like I'll understand just from having friends. It's just literally from exposure, like or else because they're kind of similar dialects, like you could kind of figure it out when they're saying, or when they're typing it on online, if they're saying like thank you or I love you, like I could kind of figure that out, but not all the time. And when like you notice that too, that one day you're like, she said, and then he looked at me, I'm like, that means thank you. Like, and I can't even remember how I knew that meant thank you, but like, it's just,
right, instinctive.
You kind of get a feel for that.
Right. Because when I was up at Mount Milligan, we had a lady come in from Kelowna, and she's a singer, and it was during healing days or something. I mean, all these companies put it on, but the way she sang, and she was singing to the ancestors, you could, if you couldn't understand the words, you got the feeling of it. Do you know what I mean? So so when you talk to other people, the story is similar. There's no trouble communicating the pain and the hurt, right?
No.
With these people,
and I think,
or you can feel it, right?
Yeah, like you can feel it, and sometimes it actually sometimes like when we done the call out for videos of people to share their story, Like I've been finally, like it's taken me this long to be able to talk about like my story, right? Or like how it's affected me and my son. And when we did the call out, I'm like, I felt like, you know, I could like I thought I could handle it. And then when you hear the stories, it brings back quite a bit of trauma, and it's not an easy thing to talk about. So it's something that, you know, you just like, you really appreciate when they share it, because it's pretty profound, like the range of emotions that you could feel like just from having that interaction. And it's like, if you're feeling that, can you imagine how they're feeling while they're talking to you about it?
Totally.
Yeah.
No, that's true. So what's your next steps? I like that. What are your next steps here?
In front of each other, one in front of the other. So next is we have some stuff to do on Monday for media, and then after that, I think that feels like we're gonna hold off too long though. But I think
I was mentioning because the chief here wants to do something on Monday. So it's Friday right now, so we got the whole weekend. I'm saying we go out, maybe do a half day and like come back. That way we're not like just sit in one spot for the whole weekend, like anxious to go out. We'll go out and do what we have to do, but just still come back.
The muscles can't handle when you sit too long, if they're just
like after our last podcast. We had to wait an extra day, right? So when we started on the road in Regina, that was a hard day.
It was a really rough day. You're like, it's like they're all seized right up after that.
So are you keeping calories on, or are you losing a little weight, or are you getting leaner? What's the scoop there, Cameron?
I think I've lost some weight here.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of us old guys who should join you.
If you want
videos,
send in your videos. Being like, I walk, or just go out for a walk and say I walked with you guys in spirit.
Okay. No.
The chat. You want to see the chat?
I want to see it. I see chats and I don't know how to keep up.
Yeah, no, that's why I keep turning my head so I can read it. I have it on another screen. I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Yeah. We're just gonna look at some of the chat.
Well, it's like Kelly says, similar strategies were used during the walk across the U.S. in protest of the XL pipeline. That sort of thing.
The Keystone.
Yeah, the Keystone XL. So did you guys talk about water issues while you're in Winnipeg?
Water issues?
Yeah, north of Winnipeg, there's some reserves without clean water.
Clean water.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
We've been just focusing on.
Well, good. I'm glad we fixed that.
Yeah, no, that hasn't come up because we have been just focusing primarily on the MMIP, and because of a lot of the anniversaries that are coming up and what's going on, they're really focusing on the women, right? Because that's especially with the landfill. And
for sure.
Yeah, like there's just
any movement on that story? Are they going to go in and search for her?
No, they have a couple of camps that are trying to like protest, trying to engage in them following through.
They're hoping they close the landfill until it gets sorted, but I can't really speak to it because we haven't really spoke to anybody and specifically at that camp that know, like, you know, like I don't want to misspeak on that because it's a pretty horrific thing that they're dealing with, right?
Yeah, I don't know if LiDAR, if they could use that, or if metal pieces would, you know, how the radar underground, if they could use that at all. They should do it. Go in there.
Yeah.
Be done with it. Go.
Well, I don't know. I just like, for me personally, I'm just like, why didn't they close it yet? Like, why hasn't it been closed? I don't understand. Right. And like, that's another thing is like, I'm just really realizing how much I don't understand. I'm just like, as we walk more, I'm just like, why? Like, I just don't understand. And then we've heard some other stories and like, I don't have enough information on them to really speak to them either, but it's some really shady stuff, man, like super shady, and it should not be happening. And it's yeah.
Very unfortunate.
No, I agree. I'm a little older than you guys, and I'm still puzzled by this stuff. How something you know is right, you do, and then you get pushed or they don't do it, or somebody lines your, well, usually somebody lines your pocket with money. In this case, I don't think it's like that. They just have to release the money to go search for her in the dump, right? So
Yeah. I don't know. It's just,
go ahead. Sorry. It's a tough issue.
yeah, it's a tough issue, and it's hard to like, I can't even comprehend, like, I can't comprehend how this is not, like, how the landfill isn't closed yet. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I understand the city has waste, but they have more than one landfill.
Yes, that's true. I think we had a question out there. Am I wrong?
I did. Hi.
Oh, thank you. Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm quite well. This is honestly more of a question. Sorry, Walter, to our guest, Miigwech. I'm from Ontario. And my only really question was to advance myself as an ally, to like be like kind of more of like your accomplice. Even if you don't have, because this was already suggested by Walter, like a direct like deposit name to the peoples who need help. I can really only do that in Ontario, other than like I'm a teacher, like care about it. How can I help you? Like in what ways can I give you my funds in order to like progress what you guys are doing, to either you as individuals, which I also respect what you're doing, and also the people and the groups that you're encountering or meeting?
So, the groups that we encounter are all nonprofit organizations, and a lot of them go through other charities. So Ask Auntie's been a huge help, and that was in Brandon. And so that one was through the John Howard Society, the Blue Door Project, I think it was, and you have to specify Ask Auntie.
Sorry, the blue what?
I think it's Blue Door or
Yeah,
John Howard
Door
Society.
and Ask Auntie.
Yeah, Ask Auntie. As long as you put those two, they'll understand. And then the other one that we ran into so far was, there is a place, if you wanted to like go to the BC, that's there's the Cheers for Hope Society. They actually help with the aftercare. So they help with giving funds for people when they're doing their searches. There's another one. There's I think they're looking for donations and stuff directly towards Morgan Camp, and Morgan Camp is named after one of the missing women that in the landfill that they have a camp there. It's kind of like their peaceful protest to like please, like, you know, they're there, but they're looking for, I'm pretty sure they're looking for donations. There's like, and the prevention too, like the prevention, like helping people that are in the homeless populations and stuff like that. That's huge, because what they found, from my understanding, what they found with what was going on in Winnipeg here was that they were targeting homeless people. That's what was going on. Is like he was targeting homeless women, and it was yeah. So that was, and then he was throwing them in a dumpster, and then the dumpsters would get brought to the landfill, and they were so like they're helping with the prevention is also vital across the board, and every province has this issue, right? Like the homelessness, the vulnerable populations. And when we were at the legislative building today, one of the matriarchs there that spoke brought up a really good point. She's like, they're as easily and accessible as drugs are across this country. That's how easily and accessible all these resources should be. Like it's actually quite hard to get resources to people that are in need. Yes. Like they're not as accessible as it is to go and grab drugs, which is not right. Like that is like, what's wrong? We got to work on this, guys.
Yeah, I agree. What about yourselves though? Because can we help you guys out with fuel and stuff like that? Because it's costing you guys money too to do this. Can we do your last time we did your Gmail? I don't know. Do you want?
Yeah, that's all we really use is the Gmail, or the MMIP. We get gift cards, but yeah, like I said, we've been really focused on getting donations to those organizations that really need them, because they're helping keep people out of there. But there is a Gmail for EMTs. There's and that's if there's only direct deposit, then just
What would the Gmail address be then if somebody wants to help you with fuel?
MMIP awareness walk at gmail.com. You could share the poster if you want on here. Did I send that one to you? And do you know how? Or how do I send it?
I would appreciate both. By all means.
Yeah. Okay. How do I do this?
Uh,
Hold on.
you could send it to me in the chat, my dear. And
Okay.
then I think.
Okay. I might be able to log on my phone. Maybe. Is that how it's done?
No, hold on, babe.
Oh.
Keep talking and I'll get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ask
yeah.
me
Keep talking,
questions.
Charity.
So.
Are there any more questions from the audience, sir? Oh, good. So we have. Does anybody have any more questions? I mean, it's such shy guys we have. These guys used to be really talkative, but actually, last time you were on, I really engaged in some good discussion about what you're doing, and everybody appreciates that fact. And I think you caught some people unawares, just like you did, because all of a sudden, boom, you're gone on your walk, and which is cool. And people are just beginning to realize the steps involved. Oh, here we go.
There's the okay.
Yeah, if we wanted.
Okay.
Hello again. This, I guess, is more. I didn't want to ask this because it's once again that trauma that I'll never be able to reimburse you with. When what was it, about like 5 years ago, the Wet'suwet'en, which is a representation. You can honestly explain this better than I can. A representation of many different tribes or groups of people who are on the West Coast. In what ways can you describe perhaps this would be more aware in people's minds, the Wet'suwet'en protests against a pipeline? How does that tie into the fact that there are missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, men, boys, and Two-Spirit people? What is the connection there?
One thing that they've noticed, and that I've had a lot of my other friends speak on, I'm not I haven't really been an activist like this before. I didn't even know I was an activist until somebody sent me an email introducing me as an activist. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was.
But we were just walking.
But anyways, the one thing that they found a direct correlation with is the work camps and the amount of women that are going missing. So that's when these big work camps come in, it brings in a lot of different characters, and that they found direct correlations with that kind of stuff. So one thing that, again, another traumatic thing that I learned at that time was that in particular, the Albertan police will pick up homeless people or those whom they might assume to be sex workers and take them on there's a word for it, starlight tour. Starlight tour. Say that again. Sorry. Starlight tour.
Saskatoon.
Yeah. So you could obviously explain this better than I can, but maybe the attraction under capitalism, settler colonial capitalism, invites workers to a location like miners or people who extract resources, and that creates kind of a mining town where there is easy access to people who already are disenfranchised. So be it homeless people, and more obviously in Canada, it's Indigenous women, it's Indigenous LGBTQIA2S people. So I think that if you'd like to expand on my very disjointed thought that perhaps it's due to these work camps that attracts not only people who are looking for work, like sex workers, but people who are victims of the police trying to enforce their colonial rule over this area, which is now a work camp. Yeah. I don't know if I could really expand on that too much, to be honest. All I know is even as I was just talking to a lady about this, this is we had a really different experience with one of the police officers in Saskatchewan. And I know like you heard about the Starlit Tours in Alberta specifically. I've heard about them in Saskatchewan my whole life, right? Because this is my first time to the prairies, to be honest. And the Starlit Tours don't happen. Well, haven't heard of them happening in BC, right? From what I know. So I'm not really too familiar with it. And like I said, I'm learning a lot as I go. I definitely believe that there's a strong tie with work camps and with those kind of instances happening. But I can't really answer that question because I don't know enough about it. Except for like when we're walking, like we stopped in at one of the gas stations and one of the guys even mentioned that, yeah, we didn't think we're going to get out alive that time. And I'm like, holy crap, like these guys are young guys, right? Yeah, like I definitely know there's a link between those type of work camps coming in, those kind of personalities coming in, the link with the RCMP there. It's hard to say because like I know as I was moving over, like my family was getting worried because they were getting worried about they heard the RCMP were worse in this spot. They were worse in this spot. And like we haven't seen that yet personally. And I don't know if it's just because we are in the public eye or I don't know if it's gonna get worse. Like I can only speak to my experience and I really wish I had more of a better answer for you. I'm sorry.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. I really did express my question as something to invite the rest of the audience who are maybe not Canadian, who maybe don't know that particular phrase to talk about it. So thank you so much for talking about it. Thank you.
And the U.S. Border Patrol has also been known to do that too as well. What you're talking about too was a big court case, Saskatoon, I believe, and they drove a guy out and it was minus 40. Mm-hmm. And they did that regular, and then they would, I think, bet on if he'll make it back. I mean, it's just egregious is what it is, especially in the cold in Canada, right? So what's your next town? Where you guys? Thunder Bay. Say it's Thunder Bay. Where's it?
I hope we could do it in the day, but I think Thunder Bay is pretty far.
Oh, okay.
I think Thunder Bay might be, once we start walking, maybe 5 days to Thunder Bay. I can't.
Right.
I don't know the distance from.
Now.
So yeah. So what's your route? You're on Highway 1 or 16?
Yeah, we're still on Highway 1.
Still Highway 1. We stick to Highway 1.
Or as my friend would say, Thunder Bay.
I don't know if Charity talked about the officer on how kind he was.
We had the most
in Saskatchewan.
The most insane experience with the police officer. Like I've never had an experience with the police officer.
Charity, tell us more.
Okay, so what happened? I was taking a break and I was at the window, the passenger side window, and a cop pulls up in front of us, our police officer, and then she's like, oh no. I'm like, I'll go talk to him. So I walked up to the cruiser and he came out and he's like really like asking a bunch of questions on what we were doing.
And I was looking for my license and registration while he's doing this. And I'm like, am I supposed to start videotaping this occurrence right now? So I have like evidence, or should I be phoning someone so I have a witness? Like I'm from BC and I'm native and and instead he asked if we needed water and we were pretty good on water. So he went to Timmy's and brought us back Tim Hortons.
He brought us back like, coffee and a tea.
Yeah, awesome. It's like the police in Saskatchewan are different. And then that was like, I was really nervous about that one too, because that's where I heard all these Starlight Tours are happening at, and I do not doubt that they're happening. Like obviously, like it wouldn't be a court case if these things aren't happening. Right. But it was a good reminder that not everybody's terrible, right? Like it's just like so that was comforting, but it was like I was scared. Like I was really, really scared, to be honest. Like I was actually really scared.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, okay, so where is the next place you're going to be?
Let's look. We are keeping up our Facebook page now that we have one created, and
Okay.
it's called
We'll put the link in the description.
Okay, you got that one, right? You're on there?
Oh yeah, you betcha. I'm on it every day.
All right, perfect.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, don't you
MMI
see me liking things? My gosh.
Yes, I
Jerry.
noticed that. That's awesome. Thank you. He's
Sarita maybe,
Sarita.
yeah, or
Sarita.
Elma, that
Don't-
might be,
Don't judge
Oh,
me.
no.
I'll butcher stuff. Just
no, that won't be it. This one might be doable.
Prada.
Prada,
Is it Prada? Prawda.
I don't know. These are all Manitoba names, or are they Ontario?
yeah,
names?
yeah,
Yeah, we
Right.
usually we can pretty much do
oh, yeah.
40 kilometers. I'm gonna stay with 40 because I like the 20 and 20. That works good for me.
So what do you do? Do you go out and then come back to sleep, or do you sleep in the truck, or do you camp, or
It all
how's this
depends.
working?
It all depends. Since the ticks came and we have Gretchen
Yes.
with us, of course, we have Gretchen, and the ticks are insane this year. Apparently, like I thought it was just always bad, but I guess they're
really bad this year.
they're really bad. So I just was,
Right.
yeah,
And Gretchen is shivering on the floor here.
because she's used to being in a hot truck.
Here, let's show everyone.
Yeah, you guys got to meet Gretchen.
Yeah, let's meet Gretchen.
She's part of the team.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
how old?
She is 5 or
Six.
6. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Yeah, she's just shivering down there. I'm like, oh.
But yeah, because we had to pull a couple off of her. And
Really?
she had a sponsor as well too on the way in Moosomin, and a lady gave her a couple $100 so she could get her tick medicine and all this stuff.
Oh,
And I
good.
was like, yeah, so that was actually quite
Good.
that was amazing. I thought that was
Yeah, she needs special dog food because her stomach will turn if she doesn't have the right dog food. So it's pretty expensive. And,
yes.
Yeah.
she was I went to go bath her in the laundromat. They had a dog wash there. And the lady was talking to my wife here and asking her a bunch of questions. And when I came back in, or when I got finished bathing her, she like went out and grabbed some funds for Gretchen here.
Yeah, they were specifically for Gretchen, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, because we have Gretchen here and the ticks and all that stuff that I'm not really used to. We're opting for the truck. We figured out how to make a bed in the truck, which works
Mhm.
great actually. It's a
Okay.
good thing. Neither of us are super tall, and we've been getting the cheap hotels more. So that's been nice too, because then we get a shower every night. She has a bunch of stuff stuck to her already.
Are you pulling ticks off her?
No, we're pulling. She's been rolling around because the trees, they're
Right.
you know, like
I'm
the buds on the trees, the sticky part.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has those all over her. No, we're not.
With the sap. She just lays there, right?
Actually,
That is a tick. Yeah.
Oh, damn is right. Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah,
Other-
but she did get her tick medicine, so she'll be good. But yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
So
Well,
that-
what's the chances of us touching base again in a week or so? Or two?
Well, I think we
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
That sounds good. We can.
A reoccurrence is definitely.
So we'll stick to the half hour.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah, and the end of the
Yeah,
hour.
Even
I really
even
want to go watch the hockey game.
oh no, you don't. No. Don't worry about it. Okay, well, do you want to leave us with anything, or we'll just say we'll see you next
Well, if
time.
we-
And good
if
luck to you guys.
If there's any questions, I'd. open
Yeah,
it.
that would be nice if there was any questions. I don't know, a whole bunch of thank yous in the chat. So I guess there are no questions, which is
Yeah.
surprising from this crowd, I'll tell you that.
And if
But-
any media
Disparage.
people,
What's the disparage question? How
I'm
do I
not
do that?
disparaging any questions.
Oh.
Right? Oh, she says dog ticks don't give Lyme disease. So,
Okay,
which is
that's great.
That's good
I'm
to know.
an outdoor educator. Dog
Awesome.
ticks are, there's like a word for it. I don't remember, but like the ones that go after dogs don't give Lyme disease.
Nice.
That's all I have to say. And Walter, I was just saying that you keep saying that we have no questions, but I did ask some. It
Oh
doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
no. Any
But if
more questions?
anyone else would like to like ask any questions, like we do have like
Yeah.
boots on the ground people who are here helping like any kind of movement they could.
Right.
And don't forget, another way to support
Thank
is
you,
just to
Ari.
share.
Go ahead, Charity. Sorry.
Oh, I said, and don't forget, guys, another way you guys could support is just share our posts. Give us encouragement. If you've seen our news articles that we should probably be aware of, please share it to our page. We should read them.
What's your page again?
It's MMIP Awareness Walk, and it's semicolon steps to bring Canada together. Yeah. Yeah.
Who
And
you
that's on
rooting
Facebook.
on Facebook? Who are you rooting for the hockey game?
Probably the home team up here.
Yeah, I'm just out there to watch some good hockey. It's all local First Nations come into play, and that sounds amazing. It's been a long time since my son's dad was a hockey player.
Okay.
So
I
yeah.
just want to show Americans that even women from Canada like hockey. So, well, thank you very much. You guys take care and look after your feet, and we'll talk real soon. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for taking time out of your day to talk to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Masicho.
Yeah.
Masito. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Oh, just so you know, masicho means thank you very much. I didn't say massive.
In what language is that, Charity?
That's carrier.
Carrier. And can you say it again?
Masicho.
Mestizo.
Masito.
Thank you.
And then when you want to say I love you, say
Ngesi.
Ngesi, or we say Ngesai. We say
And-
Tebi Ngesai.
Our goodbye is Wetza.
Let's Meshito Letza.